Our female lead, Feng Feng, agrees to marry a billionaire CEO because of her parents. With zero expectations from love, she never imagines that her cold, powerful husband is actually completely obsessed with her and would do anything for her. As the story begins, Feng Feng is at work when her colleague, Zhao, shares news that a foreign business tycoon has acquired their company. Feng doesn't care much until she gets a call from her husband, Mr. Zhang, reminding us that they've been married for 3 years, yet she still doesn't understand why he chose her at the last moment instead of her sister. That night, Mr. Zhang enters the room after a shower, hugs her from behind, and gently teases if she's asleep. Making her nervous, he notices something wrong with her face, but she hides it, secretly worried because of the birth control pills she took that caused an allergy. Concerned, Mr. Zhang insists on taking her to the hospital, where the doctor explains the reaction and advises safer options. Mr. Zhang is surprised, but stays calm and caring. Back home, he helps her take her medicine, asking softly why she used pills instead of talking to him. Sitting her on his lap, he reminds her to rest and take care of herself, clearly worried, not angry. Feng feels confused but touched by his concern. Later, while teasing about how bitter the medicine is, their conversation slowly turns playful when she asks him to visit her family over the weekend. He tells her to rest, but the closeness between them grows. Even with an important meeting waiting, Mr. Zhang finds himself unable to pull away, showing that this business marriage may already be turning into something much deeper. Feng goes to her parents' home alone, and her mother scolds her for not bringing Mr. Zhang along. But just then, Mr. Zhang appears, instantly changing her mood. Her father takes him inside to talk while her mother asks Feng Feng for scissors. Feng accidentally cuts her hand, but her mother ignores it and bluntly questions why they still don't have a baby, reminding her that the marriage was originally meant for her sister. Feng Feng defends herself, saying Mr. Zhang insisted on marrying her. Before the argument grows, Mr. Zhang comes downstairs and they leave together in the car. He notices her injury, gently applies medicine, bandages her hand, and reminds her to keep it dry. Feng quietly wonders why he married her at all. That night, as she tries to sleep, he checks her hand again, pulls her close, and comforts her with quiet affection, making her question whether this marriage is only physical attraction or something deeper. The next day at work, colleagues gossip about the new boss, young, handsome, and married, wondering who his wife is since he's never gone public. Feng listens calmly, saying curiosity won't change anything. As she presses the elevator button to leave, the doors slide open and the moment hints that her personal and professional worlds are about to collide. Feng freezes when she sees Mr. Zhang standing inside the elevator and quietly steps behind him, slowly realizing that the company's new boss is none other than her own husband. He calmly asks which floor she's going to, and when she answers third floor, she stands silently until the doors open, then suddenly runs out in panic. Later, her manager invites her to a golf course meeting with a client, and she arrives feeling nervous. Just then, Mr. Zhang calls her to join him for dinner, and she follows, confused about why he brought her along. He explains since they'll need multiple discussions, it's better to settle everything at once. Feng confidently presents the project, and the client agrees. Alone afterward, she asks when he acquired the company, and when he says it was at the start of the year, she's upset that he never told her, saying she wouldn't have joined if she knew he was the boss. Mr. Zhang counters that she never asked, and when she says she'll resign after the golf project ends, he teasingly asks why she won't let him be her boss even once. Speechless, she watches as he tells her to order whatever she wants, trying to escape the awkwardness. Feng hides behind a table, but Mr. Zhang finds her and jokes that she's hiding because she thought a friend might arrive. She admits it's easier than explaining their secret marriage, only for him to surprise her by saying he never wanted to keep their marriage secret at all. That night, Feng Feng lies awake, conflicted. He never made their marriage public before, so she feared he might leave someday, yet now he suddenly wants to be open. The next day at work, she receives a message about dinner together, and as she arrives, she sees Mr. Zhang already standing there waiting just for her. Feng quietly thinks that no one is pressuring him about having a baby, which is why he never even talks about protection, but when Mr. Zhang asks what she was mumbling, she quickly brushes it off. As soon as they enter the restaurant, both families are already having dinner and pull them to sit together. Feng's mother warmly tells Mr. Zhang to order anything he likes, but instead he hands the menu to Feng Feng, surprising everyone and making her nervously place the order. Soon, the baby topic comes up again, and Feng Feng calmly says she wants to focus on her current project for now. While eating, Mr. Zhang struggles with very spicy food and drinks water, making Feng Feng realize she forgot he can't handle spice. On the drive back, she assumes he's upset, but before she can think more, the car suddenly breaks down in a quiet area. Mr. Zhang decides to walk back, and Feng Feng follows, wondering if he's angry on purpose. Unable to keep up, she sits down in frustration, saying her feet hurt. Mr. Zhang returns, offers his hand, then kneels down and tells her to climb onto his bag so he can carry her. She hesitates, but does, asking him not to drop her while he jokes about holding him too tight. Back home later, Feng Feng is choosing clothes when he casually asks about her work plans as she dries her hair. Mr. Zhang gently takes the dryer and does it for her, carefully moving close to brush the hair from her eyes. It's beside her. He continues drying her hair until she rests her head on his chest and falls asleep. The next morning, as she gets ready for work, her manager compliments her beauty, hinting that both her confidence and her life are quietly changing. Feng's manager suggests she change into something more attractive for the meeting, saying appearance matters in business. And although Feng Feng feels clothes shouldn't matter for a project, she finally agrees. At the golf course, she's shocked to see Mr. Zhang there too, and slowly realizes her husband is also her company's new boss. The manager formally introduces President Zhang, and Feng Feng greets him politely as if they're strangers, while Mr. Zhang plays along, though his sharp eyes notice her nervous movements and teasingly tells her to relax. Inside, Feng Feng feels overwhelmed. Her husband is now her boss, and part of her wants to resign immediately. Suddenly, a waiter spills water on her outfit, and while she calmly says it's fine, the supervisor suggests she change before anyone else can react. Mr. Zhang steps in, drapes his blazer over her, and firmly says he'll take her himself. In the private room, the tension between them rises as he questions why she dressed up for others but never for him, revealing his jealousy and hidden feelings. Feng Feng tries to leave, but he stops her, admitting quietly that he doesn't like sharing her attention with anyone. Caught between embarrassment and emotion, she realizes that behind his calm CEO image, Mr. Zhang has always cared deeply, and this arranged marriage is no longer just a formality, but something filled with real, complicated feelings. Feng worries that her makeup is ruined, but Mr. Zhang gently touches her lips, pulling her close and kissing her, stopping her before she can speak. At first, she resists, then slowly responds, and the tension between them melts into quiet passion. He tells her to stay there and that he'll come back in the morning, but she playfully bites his finger and pushes him away, sitting on the sofa and trying to call her manager. Mr. Zhang doesn't stop teasing, sitting beside her and stealing soft kisses that make it hard for her to talk, finally pulling her into his arms until she falls asleep. Later, Feng Feng wakes to his message, saying he's coming to pick her up. At the same time, Mr. Zhang leaves a game with his friends without hesitation, throwing down the cards and saying he makes the rules here. His friends gossip, wondering about the wife he married 3 years ago, but never introduced. Feng's sister Yan claims Mr. Zhang never had feelings for Feng Feng, but her confidence shatters when Mr. Zhang arrives, holds Feng Feng's hand, prepares a seat for her himself, and introduces her proudly as his wife. He even feeds her gently, leaving everyone speechless, and completely proving that this marriage is far more real than anyone imagined. Feng quietly wonders if Mr. Zhang married her only because he once liked Yan, and when Yan calls him brother-in-law, the doubt grows stronger. When Mr. Zhang steps away to take a call, Feng Feng goes to the washroom, where Yan follows and accuses her of pretending, saying Mr. Zhang doesn't value her at all. Feng calmly shuts her down, reminding her to stop repeating the same childish thoughts, and refuses to explain herself. A flashback reveals the truth. Mr. Zhang had sent the movie tickets in Feng Feng's name, not Yan's, and even instructed the maid accordingly. Feng firmly tells Yan that Mr. Zhang chose her, married her, and deserves respect, leaving Yan frustrated and silent. That night, Mr. Zhang looks at Feng Feng's drawings, praises her talent, and gently pulls her close, sharing a quiet, affectionate moment. Later at work, his assistant calls Feng Feng to the office, and though Mr. Zhang isn't there yet, she curiously looks around until he arrives and teasingly scolds her for sitting in the boss's chair, only for her to remind him that he's not just her boss, but her husband. He casually tells her he bought her a car, surprising her completely. When she doubts his sudden kindness, he calmly says he's never treated her badly. Handing her the keys, he lets her drive it herself, smiling as she excitedly accepts, realizing once again that behind his calm confidence, Mr. Zhang has always been quietly choosing her. Mr. Zhang suddenly rushes and sits in Feng Feng's new car, shocking her. She asks where his car is, and he casually says it's gone for repairs. Feng Feng smiles and says she wants to experience driving home by herself, but he teasingly replies that she can enjoy that feeling when he goes on a business trip, and promises to ask the butler to take care of her. She jokes that he doesn't trust her driving, but bravely sits beside her. As soon as she starts the car, Mr. Zhang nervously grips the seat, making her laugh. That night, while half asleep, Feng Feng accidentally hits him and he pulls her into his arms, holding her protectively. The next morning, Mr. Zhang leaves for work and quietly instructs the butler to follow her whenever she drives alone, showing how worried he truly is. At the office, Feng Feng suddenly rushes to the hospital after getting a call about her mother, only to see her parents happily chatting with Yun, barely noticing her arrival. Standing silently outside, soaked and exhausted, she feels like an outsider in her own family. Later, back at work, she overhears coworkers gossiping that the new boss might have gone on a business trip to meet his ex-girlfriend, Catherine. The words sting deeply. That night, alone in bed, Feng Feng overthinks everything, wondering if he's with someone else, if anyone truly cares about her, and her emotions spiral until tears fall. Just then, Mr. Zhang arrives, turns on the light, and softly asks, "What's wrong?" breaking the silence she's been drowning in. Mr. Zhang gently touches Feng Feng's phone and realizes she's unwell, carefully covering her with a blanket before bringing her medicine. He helps her sit up, hugs her softly, feeds her the medicine, and makes sure she drinks water. Overwhelmed, Feng Feng cries and blurts out that she hates him for not caring. But instead of arguing, he calmly wipes her hands and tells her to rest, tucking her in with care. The next morning, she wakes to find him making breakfast. He checks the water temperature, feels her forehead to make sure she doesn't have a fever, and asks if she feels strange. When she stubbornly starts eating fruit standing up, he gently cleans her lips with his fingers and moves her to the dining table, telling her to sit properly. She thanks him, and before leaving, he lightly pats her head and says that instead of thanking him, she should curse him less in the future. Later, during a meeting, Feng Feng feels uneasy seeing him talk to another woman, and her discomfort grows when Catherine appears, as coworkers gossip and compare the two. Feng Feng's hands shake, and she accidentally burns herself with hot coffee. Mr. Zhang rushes over, holds her hand under something cool, even gently blowing on it, but she pulls away, saying she can handle it herself. Still, he quietly messages his assistant to bring burn medicine. When Catherine greets Feng Feng and mentions seeing her photo in Mr. Zhang's wallet years ago, the truth hangs heavy in the air, leaving Feng Feng confused, insecure, and Mr. Zhang silent as emotions begin to collide again. Inside the elevator, Mr. Zhang calmly admits that Feng Feng is indeed his cutie, while she stands there with a pout on her face. Back in the car, he sends the butler away and gently asks if she applied her medicine. She says it's fine, but when he reaches for her hand to check, she pulls away. He asks when he offended her, and she finally blurts out whether Catherine is his ex-girlfriend. Surprised, Mr. Zhang firmly says Catherine was never his ex and that he has never had any relationship outside his marriage. When he teasingly asks if Feng Feng was angry because she was jealous, she denies it, yet warns him to keep distance from other women, reminding him she is Mrs. Zhang. He lightly scolds her to speak properly, then clearly states that Catherine isn't interested in men at all, and that his life has room for only one woman, her. Feng Feng looks at him, stunned.
At home, as she's about to apply medicine, he takes over, gently stopping her from moving and even placing her phone aside. Their playful argument turns soft when she mentions resigning after the project ends to avoid workplace issues, but he tells her it doesn't matter. Being boss or wife shouldn't change anything. Embarrassed, she pretends to be sleepy and turns away, but Mr. Jung pulls her closer, surrounding her protectively, asking with quiet warmth if she really thinks she can sleep while he's right there. Feng pretends she's still awake and pushes him away, calling him shameless, accusing him of wanting more just because he helped her. Mr. Jung laughs it off, pulls her closer, and kisses her gently until her anger softens, and she responds, their tension turning into quiet closeness. He lifts her into his arms and sits her on his lap, and for a moment they forget everything else. Suddenly, Feng Feng snaps back to reality, pushes him away, and hides under the blanket, insisting she wants to sleep. Mr. Jung doesn't give up easily, tugging the blanket away and teasing her until she laughs and scolds him again, and the night passes in playful romance. Another evening, Feng Feng returns home to find Mr. Jung slightly drunk and casually asks who he was drinking with. He jokes that he had dinner with Catherine, and seeing Feng Feng's eyes fill with tears, he pulls her back asking if she's angry. She denies it, but her tears say otherwise. Mr. Jung wipes them away, teasing her for being so sensitive, then admits he was only joking and never went out with Catherine. Embarrassed and emotional, Feng Feng slaps him lightly, but he catches her hand, kisses it, and gently asks if she's calm now. When she turns away, he cups her face and tells her to say whatever she wants. He won't remember a thing. As he keeps calling her softly, she covers his lips with her hand, flustered, realizing once again that behind his teasing and confidence, he cares far more deeply than he ever says. Feng Feng calls him silly and tries to push him away, but Mr. Jung only laughs it off, pulling her closer and kissing her softly until her anger fades into embarrassment. When he suggests she join him on a business trip, she refuses until he teasingly mentions Catherine, which makes her snap in anger. Seeing her reaction, he smiles gently, kisses her again, and asks sweetly if she'll come with him, and she finally agrees, finding him annoyingly cute. The next day at dinner, Feng Feng arrives with her manager and is unexpectedly guided to Mr. Jung's table, where Catherine greets her politely, and everyone notices how warmly Mr. Jung looks at Feng Feng. Feeling flustered, Feng Feng leaves early, only to receive a call from Mr. Jung asking her to come to his room for a meeting.
She refuses until her manager urgently calls her upstairs for a late-night discussion in the president's room. Nervous, Feng Feng enters to find everyone already there, and as she presents her project, it earns genuine praise from the team. When the meeting ends, Mr. Jung casually tells everyone to leave, then quietly asks Feng Feng to stay back to discuss a few details, making the room fall silent as everyone walks out, leaving them alone once again with tension, curiosity, and unspoken feelings hanging in the air. Feng calmly drinks water and asks what changes are needed in the file, and Mr. Jung explains sincerely that while her idea is good, it needs to be more innovative. She feels relieved, realizing he truly wanted to discuss work, and thanks him before preparing to leave. Yet, as she walks away, Mr. Jung quietly watches her, even absent-mindedly drinking from the same glass she used, showing just how deeply obsessed he is. In the elevator, Feng Feng suddenly remembers she left her room key behind and returns to his room. The moment she opens the door, Mr. Jung pulls her inside, unable to hold back any longer, asking softly why she came back. She explains she's looking for her room key, but no matter where she searches, it's nowhere to be found. Smiling, Mr. Jung finally reveals the key card from his pocket, pretending he just found it. Realizing he hid it on purpose, Feng Feng scolds him and tries to leave, but he blocks her path, drops the file aside, and pulls her close. The tension finally breaks as he lifts her gently and carries her to the bed. And this time, she doesn't resist, responding to him with the same feelings she's been trying to deny, as their long-held emotions finally spill over into quiet, undeniable closeness. Mr. Jung reminds her to rest early, and as Feng Feng is about to leave, Lena stops her to give her some sweets and casually asks for her number.
Thinking it's work-related, Feng Feng shares it, unaware that Mr. Zheng notices the moment from a distance and immediately feels jealous. His assistant suggests he talk to his wife, and without delay, Mr. Zheng insists they return to the hotel. Feng senses his sudden mood, but can't understand why he's angry. Back at the room, the moment she opens the door, he steps inside, pulling her close with intense emotion. His jealousy clearly taking over, he refuses to let go, guiding her toward the bedroom, unable to hide how deeply obsessed he is with her. Just then, people start calling him on video, but he ignores everything until a knock comes from outside as the manager says she forgot her room card. Feng panics and tries to quiet him, signaling him to hide, but Mr. Zheng only smiles, enjoying the moment far too much. She struggles to keep silent while the manager keeps calling out, and finally, when the footsteps fade away, Feng Feng lets out a breath of relief, realizing that Mr. Zheng's jealousy, possessiveness, and affection all come from one place. He simply cannot stand the idea of losing her to anyone else. When no sound comes from inside, the manager quietly leaves. Later that night, Feng Feng runs outside and finds Mr. Zheng sitting alone smoking. She calls him President Zheng, and he immediately throws the cigarette away, teasing her for using his title again. Confused by his mixed signals, Feng Feng steps back as he moves closer, asking why she's hiding when he's only this close. Before she can react, he pulls her in for a quick kiss, making her panic and warn him that someone might see. She reminds him that work and private life should stay separate, but he only smirks, clearly enjoying her nervousness. Just then, the manager and Lin arrive to escape the heavy rain. Lin offers Feng Feng his blazer, and though she refuses at first, the manager insists she wear it to avoid catching a cold. Watching silently, Mr. Zheng grows visibly irritated, but says nothing. After the business trip ends, they return home, and that night, Feng Feng clutches the blanket tightly on her side of the bed, refusing to let go, while Mr. Zheng tugs at it playfully, realizing she's doing it on purpose. Then, smiling, pulls her toward him instead, ending the quiet tug-of-war with a gentle kiss, proving once again that behind all the jealousy and teasing, his attention never leaves her. Mr. Zheng starts kissing Feng Feng again, and when she sits up, he teasingly asks if she's still pretending to sleep. She finally snaps, hitting him lightly and demanding to know why she's so angry, admitting she hates how he switches roles so easily, acting like her strict boss one moment and her husband the next. She confesses that when he crosses those lines, it makes her feel guilty, as if she's betraying her own marriage. Mr. Zheng calmly asks what she actually wants. Does she want to change her boss or change her husband? Flustered, she turns away, claiming she's sleepy, but he pulls her close anyway, hugging her over the blanket. The next day, at lunch, Feng Feng sits with colleagues, including Lin, and feels unsettled, learning Mr. Zheng once came for Yan, not her. When Mr. Zheng sees her with Lin and openly admits he's jealous, she's left stunned and quietly walks away. That night, Feng Feng tries to talk seriously, but Mr. Zheng insists work discussions stay out of the bedroom. When he accidentally hurts her, his concern immediately takes over, blowing gently on her head and apologizing. She finally asks why Yan joined the project, wondering if there's pressure behind it, but he reassures her it's just business. As he softly asks why she's still awake, it becomes clear their real struggle isn't work or jealousy, but learning how to balance love, trust, and boundaries within the same marriage. Feng pretends she's sleepy and hides under the blanket, and Mr. Zheng quietly lies down beside her without forcing anything. The next day, while driving, she sees her parents laughing happily with Yan, and painful childhood memories resurface, how she once fought with Yan over a toy, only to be told she wasn't really her father's daughter, and how her mother stayed silent. Lost in thought and tears, she drives until Mr. Zheng suddenly appears, noticing instantly that something is wrong. Gently, he presses a cold bottle against her cheek, reminding her of the same gesture he once used in the past when she was crying alone. Though she denies being sad, he calmly takes over the driving and brings her to a quiet mountain spot far from people and noise. There, he unexpectedly becomes her bartender for the night, playfully teaching her how to taste a drink and teasing her reactions, even adding lemon to make her laugh. As she slowly relaxes, wondering why the place is so empty, he explains it's peaceful and rarely visited, just like the space he wanted to create for her. In that quiet moment, without asking too many questions, he stays by her side, letting her sadness fade naturally, proving once again that he understands her emotions even before she finds the words to explain them. Feng tastes the drink and admits it's good, making Mr. Jung smile, until she pretends it's nothing special and tries to give it back, only to snatch it again playfully. A little tipsy, she insists she's already happy and wants to go home. He offers his hand to steady her, but she brushes it off and walks ahead with him following close behind. Suddenly, a stranger asks if they're a couple and tries to get Feng Fen's number. Without hesitation, Mr. Jung pulls her close and says firmly, "She's my wife," sending them away.
Half joking, he says they should buy wedding rings soon, which leaves Feng Feng thoughtful all night. Later, he surprises her by coming to their room, gently hugging her and reminding her it's their shared space. Though she protests at first, the tension melts into warmth as he showers her with soft affection, making her laugh and surrender the argument. By morning, he takes her ring shopping, teasing her as she tries on many designs, asking if she plans to wear rings on all 10 fingers, while she fires back confidently, wondering if President Jiang can afford it. Their banter, smiles, and quiet promises show how far their love has grown, from doubt and jealousy to certainty and devotion. When Mr. Jiang casually tells the staff to pack all the rings, Feng Feng panics and says she was only joking, teasing him for being a typical dominant CEO. But her smile fades when a luxury box is opened, revealing rare diamonds. Mr. Jiang calmly asks her which one she likes, saying he'll have their wedding ring custom-made. Shocked, she learns he chose that diamond 2 years ago, the same time they got married, and the realization quietly sinks in. Later, when she can't find her jacket, he hands her his without hesitation. On a company field trip, coworkers joke about her matching black and white jacket with Lin, calling it a couple look, unaware that President Jiang has arrived and is watching from a distance, jealousy clearly written on his face. As people gossip and Lin offers to carry her bag, Mr. Jiang's irritation grows. When Feng Feng pauses to examine a leaf, she suddenly bumps into someone, losing balance. But Mr. Jiang steps in just in time, catching her firmly. In that moment, surrounded by curious eyes, his possessiveness isn't hidden anymore, not as a boss, but as a husband who has been choosing her long before she ever noticed. Mr. Jiang quickly catches Feng Feng when she almost falls, and she excitedly shows him the mushrooms she collected in her basket. Seeing her smile so happily, he can't help smiling too, and quietly takes her bag onto his own shoulder. At the camping area, Lin sits with Feng Feng to grill the mushrooms, but a clearly jealous Mr. Jiang arrives and casually sends Lin away. He sits beside Feng Feng himself, asking teasingly if the roasted mushrooms are really that delicious. When she moves her chair slightly away, he questions her gently, then asks her to take out the first aid kit. Pretending to be hurt, he lets her carefully apply medicine, watching her with soft eyes as she worries about him. She feeds him roasted mushrooms and even offers bread, which oddly makes him grumpy, confusing her even more. Later, during group shooting practice, Feng Feng covers her ears at the loud noise, while everyone praises Lin's aim. Not liking the attention Lin gets, Mr. Jiang steps in and shoots perfectly, effortlessly stealing the spotlight. Feng Feng instantly understands her jealous husband, deliberately showed up just to remind everyone who truly stands out. As the day goes on, she hands him a tissue to wipe his sweat, and in these small, quiet moments, his jealousy fades into something warmer, care, pride, and an unspoken promise that wherever she is, his eyes will always find her first. Feng Feng gently wipes Mr. Jiang's face herself, and soon they walk together with their arms loosely around each other. Noticing her shoelaces are loose, Mr. Jiang suddenly kneels down to tie them, making her pause in surprise. Just then, they overhear people talking nearby about targeting Lin later that evening, and Feng Feng quickly pulls Mr. Jiang away. His jealousy flares again, and he corners her, demanding to know if she realized Lin liked her. She explains she never knew, and Mr. Jiang admits it's not her fault, she's just too beautiful. His anger softens into emotion, and their closeness deepens. Later, he insists she come back to the room with him, unable to hide how strongly he feels. By morning, he quietly gets ready, tells her to rest more, and jokingly warns her not to dance with anyone else that night. She teases him about being overly confident, throwing a pillow at him as he laughs and leaves.
That evening, Feng Feng attends a masked party, blending into the crowd, sipping her drink, when she suddenly remembers the mysterious man who asked her to dance before. The memory of that unforgettable dance makes her heart race again, as she wonders who he really was and whether fate is quietly pulling them closer once more. Even though Feng Feng says she can't dance well, the masked man gently guides her, telling her to just move her hands with him. Later, she wonders who that dancer was, realizing she never even saw his face. When she spots Lin approaching, she quickly tries to escape, but bumps straight into Mr. Zhang. Seeing Lin nearby, Mr. Zhang pulls her close and hugs her protectively until Lin leaves. Teasing her, he reminds her of her claim that everyone wants to dance with her, then draws her into his arms and insists they dance together. As they move, Feng Feng admits she's not confident, but Mr. Zhang reassures her, spinning her smoothly and holding her steady when she almost falls. When he asks if she's danced with others, she casually says yes, not remembering who, until she recalls the mysterious gentleman from before. Mr. Zhang presses gently, asking who her first dance was with, and as he calls her little cutie with a smile, realization hits her hard. Her eyes fill with tears as she touches his face and understands it was him all along, accusing him softly of hiding the truth. She's silenced when he places her hand on his cheek, asking when he ever truly lied.
Just then, a waiter approaches, and Mr. Zhang swiftly shields her from view, sending them away, leaving Feng Feng overwhelmed, emotional, and finally certain that the man who has always guided her steps was right beside her all along. Feng suddenly runs away, leaving one sandal behind. Later that night, when someone enters the room, they are startled to see Feng Feng sitting silently in a corner. Handing her a drink, they tease her for escaping like a princess and even losing her sandal. The next morning, Feng Feng quietly leaves the house with her suitcase. When the staff asks if the boss knows, she says nothing and walks away. Mr. Zhang returns home, only to learn she is gone. Heartbroken, he confesses to his friend that Feng Feng keeps avoiding him, that from the very beginning, even when he asked her out to a movie, she never came, and he can't stop thinking about her. He admits he's completely obsessed with Feng Feng, always on his mind. Later, as Feng Feng carries files, Mr. Zhang arrives in his car and asks her to sit inside. When the car stopped suddenly, his first instinct is to grab her hand and check if she's hurt, but she pulls away, insisting she's fine. He asks when she'll come home, but she keeps things professional, saying it's work time. Even when he switches to speaking as her boss, she admits she hasn't decided yet and wants to be alone. At a construction site, Mr. Zhang quietly hands her his blazer through the assistant, still caring for her without words. Even when she stays at her aunt's place, he shows up under the excuse of checking on things, proving that no matter how much distance she creates, his concern, love, and quiet devotion never really leave her side. Feng tells Mr. Zhang he doesn't need to stay, calling it her private life, but he calmly reminds her that they are married. There is no private between them. Seeing her struggling in the cold, he quietly takes off his shoes, notices she has been eating the same food for days, and covers her with his long coat, instead of taking the umbrella himself. Snow begins to fall as he walks her along, buying her ice cream from a nearby store, like nothing else matters. When her lost cat is found in the snow, Feng Feng rushes to shield Mr. Zhang with the umbrella, worried he'll get wet, while he softly tells her he's already soaked, as long as she's fine. They take the cat to the hospital together, and as she turns back to invite him along because of the snow, he smiles and follows. Just as she opens the car door, he pulls her close and kisses her, without caring who might see. Embarrassed, she scolds him, but when she hits her head again, his concern instantly replaces everything else, asking if she's hurt, holding her tight to warm her, apologizing because he can't control himself around her. They laugh softly, share another tender moment, and return home, where he gives her hot water and gently accuses her of trying to melt his heart instead. When she turns back, he asks what she truly thinks of him, and she finally breaks down, crying that he always misunderstands her, even when she's done nothing wrong.
Unable to bear her tears, Mr. Zhang pulls her into his arms, kissing her desperately before softly asking the question he's been holding back all along. Does she have feelings for him or not? Feng Feng finally admits that she's been thinking about the same thing for a long time. She tells him that when he first gave her the movie tickets, she handed them to Yan, but now she keeps imagining what would have happened if she had gone with him instead. She pictures them sitting side by side in the theater, secretly holding hands, feeling shy when the lead couple kissed on screen, and maybe even sharing a quiet kiss of their own. She imagines him turning to her and asking if she would be his girlfriend, and her saying yes without hesitation, letting love slowly grow between them. When Mr. Zhang asks if she thinks that moment was a mistake, she admits she misunderstood him, believing the tickets were meant for Yan, the real daughter of the Fang family. Hearing this, Mr. Zhang gently smiles and tells her she never rejected him at all because the tickets were always meant for her. He says her family background never mattered to him. He loves her for who she is, not her identity, and finally says the words she never expected to hear: "I love you." Shocked and overwhelmed, Feng Feng confesses her feelings too, kissing him as tears fall. They promise each other that from now on they will never hide their love again. As snow begins to fall, he softly suggests they finally go watch that movie together, and she agrees with a smile. And just like that, what began as an arranged marriage turns into real love, one they choose every day forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Wait just a little longer. We'll meet again in a new drama.